Yes, good morning, everyone. Hope you are able to hear me and you are able to watch my screen. So this is going to be our first class. Okay. So whatever the demo sessions we have done, that's for just demo I have explained. So we'll be starting right from the scratch from today. Okay. So most of my sessions, maximum, I'll keep it as practical. So very few things I'll make it as theoretical part. So you have to be up to date in the practicals, then only you can catch my trainings. Okay. So I request everyone spend some time on the course, whatever we are doing. Okay. I hope you are in WhatsApp group. Whenever you get any doubt, so immediately you can go for take the screenshot, put it in WhatsApp group. Okay. And then I'll go for reply so that we can resolve immediately. You don't need to wait till the next class. The moment when you are doing some practice, if you get some doubt, you can put it. If somebody knows answer, you can also reply. No problem. That is a like a combined studies. Okay. So here, session one, I'm creating separate notes here. I'll be uploading this file also in the drive and sharing with you guys. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about application navigations, how we can go for navigate, then how to create employee, how to make user account for employee, what are implementation rules, and add implementation rules, how to add implementation rules to user, then what is implementation project, then what is enterprise structure, configurator, we call it as ESC. This is all we are going to discuss today. Excuse me. Functional topics will be coming. I'll just go for explain. We don't need to much concentrate. Okay. Mainly we are going to apply as a technical developer, right? We should be very strong technically. That's important. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Don't hesitate, even if it is a small doubt also. We treat everybody as fresher to the cloud ERP, and you are trying to apply for 6 years of experience. Okay. Even if you find in your LinkedIn professional network or any doubt, you don't hesitate. You can go for ask me. I'll be giving you the answers even if I do not have idea. Okay, I can try to find and give you the solution. So by end of the day, make you perfect. That's the task. Daily notes, right? Yeah. You will be receiving two folders in the drive. Let me just show you the Google Drive. Yeah. Once you log into your applications, uh, go to shared. Once you go to your Google Drive and go to shared option, shared with me, go to this option, you will find two folders. One is Fusion Technical, OIC, and AI demos, and one more folder, regular classes. Regular classes. Already kept the demos here. Don't worry about the demo. If at all you want to go through the demo, you can go through demo one. Don't worry about the second demo, not required. We will be discussing in our training. Demo 3 also not required. We'll be discussing in our training. If you want to go through, you can go through demo 1, where we discussed what is cloud, what are the ERPs. People who are from a non-ERP background and all, they can go through. And this is the syllabus copy. Okay. And this is what our regular classes. Here I'm going to keep separate folder for our documents. Whatever the documents are there, like for example, daily notes and all Excel sheet, you will find in the documents folder. Oh, sorry, I think I created this separate. Where is this folder? Documents. So you'll find this folder, and I'll be keeping the videos in this folder. So you will be able to see these two folders when you log into your drive and shared with me option. I'm going to give you the complete server access for download. You can download the video directly. You don't need to go for rename. Don't rename it. It reflects to others. That's a problem. Okay. And don't share it, and don't go for move and remove and all here. Just go for download. So we are giving download permission. You can directly download all this here. Okay. Now, so we are going to give you first Fusion application access. First, we will give you the Fusion application access. Technical will start. When the OIC started, that time we'll give you the OIC server access. Okay. So how we are going to receive the Fusion application access? How will you receive this software accesses? Through WhatsApp, we are going to share you. I think we have already shared. Let me open our WhatsApp group here. Oh, yes. No, I think our admin not shared. I'll do that. It is. Excuse me. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay. So here I given the link. Just you have to click on this link URL. And I given 3 usernames. You can start trying with this username first. If it is working, password is this. Same password for all the 3 users. Okay. You can log in with any one of the user. Why we given 3 means sometimes someone will change the password for one of the user. That's the reason we given the alternative options. Okay. So as soon as you click on the URL, you will get like this here. Enter the username and password. Generally, I'll keep the password as 1 to 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I'll keep it because even if you maintain the same password, if any error or any issue is there with your login in our demo, in our sessions, if you ask me to log in, I can log in with your username. If the password, everybody maintain the same password, it will be easy for us, right, to go through and log in and go ahead. Okay. Yeah. So let me log into the applications here.
The refreshable instance only, right,
Yes.
Chandra?
Yes. It will be refreshed every weekend. Sometimes what happened, it will not be refreshed at least 2, 3 weeks. Sometimes. Okay. Refreshable is always better because if something wrong in our instance, some of the functionality is not working, so if it is refreshed, it works. For example, yesterday we faced some issues with taxes and accounting issues when second demo was happening. So that's actually the problem with the tax consultant. Someone configured taxes and also accounting changes has done. That's stopping me. I don't know what is how to resolve as a technical developer, right? So then I need to wait till the refresh it is. So once the refresh is done, then it will be continued. Okay. So whenever the refresh instance is there, that's fine. For technical people, no, not required. Non-refreshment, we can go ahead with the refreshment this year. Okay. Okay. Now, so first we are going to see the navigations. So once we log into the Fusion applications, this is our cloud ERP software, Fusion applications, ERP application. This is, we see 2 menus here. One is right side user menu, left side navigator menu. User menu is used to perform the setups and maintenance. As a functional consultant or technical consultant, majority of our work will be here only. We do the setups, we do the configurations, and we do the developments, extensions, and all we do it from here. And left side navigator, where we will be performing transactions, day-to-day activities. This is like an end user or super user who will be doing this. Okay. So even though we are a functional consultant or technical consultant, whatever the setups we have done here, we are supposed to test. For example, you configured some setups related to the purchase order, but you are supposed to test, right? You are supposed to test those particular setups or configurations. How will you test? That you have to do it from here, navigator menu. Once you do the testing, then you have to go for delivery. Okay. So this is purely functional transactions, end user activities. End user, or we call it as a super user. End user, or we call it as super user over here it is. Okay. So most of the times our work will be here only. Go to user menu, setup and maintenance. So once we log into this Fusion applications here, setup and maintenance, this environment we call it as FSM. This environment we call it as FSM environment. FSM stands for Functional Setup Manager. Functional Setup Manager. Whatever the setups we are doing related to the functional, we do it here and we will manage it. Manage means create, update, delete, changes. This is all we do it from here. We call it as FSM environment. We know that Fusion Applications is one of the ERP software. It is a cloud ERP product. We see the financials here to maintain company accounts. We see the supply chain management. We see the human capital management. Okay. And we also, CRM is not that much success in Fusion. CRM, Salesforce CRM is number one, no doubt. Not even SAP or Oracle, Workday, nothing. So Oracle is now good in finance and HCM, supply chain. These three areas very strong. HCM, Workday is good. Workday is good in the HCM, but still Oracle Fusion HCM also is a good competitor for Workday. Finance, no doubt. Fusion Financials is the number one. No competitor in the SAP or somewhere else. Supply chain, SAP. SAP is good in supply chain, but still Oracle supply chain also is going to be a good competitor for SAP. That. So finally, Oracle is good in three areas: finance, supply chain, HCM. Recently, the ORC, Oracle Recruitment Cloud, and PPM, Project Portfolio Management. Okay. So these areas also Oracle has got very good feedback. So these two also good. Okay. So these are different domains here. And the client can buy whatever the product they want. For example, you join in the project and you want to know whether client is using financials or supply chain or both finance and supply chain management. Okay. Where do we find that? So once we log into the application, when you go to user menu, setup and maintenance, we will enter into this environment. We call this as a FSM, Functional Setup Manager. This environment, there is a menu here, Actions menu. Go to Actions menu, go to Offerings. Go to Offerings. When you go to Offerings, I can see that here different offerings. Where is Financials? Here. Where is Order Management? Here. Procurement? Here. Product Management? Indirectly inventory model. Marketing? Okay. And public sector code enforcement, licenses, no, planning and zoning, like municipal corporations, public sector permits, like PF office, ROC, register of companies, whoever is giving the permissions. code enforcement, like law, business licenses, whoever is providing. This is for WARS recruitment module. If any universities are there, if there are some universities who want to maintain the ERP for their entire transactions, they can use this. And supply chain planning, we see all this here. But I don't see human capital management, right? Okay, finance is here. Then supply chain management is here. Order management, inventory, procurement, this all. Then where is human capital management? Human capital management is combination of three offerings. One is compensation management. This one, compensation management. Another one is workforce deployment, workforce development. Workforce means employees, group, bulk of employees. Workforce means bulk of employees. Okay. Here I see the employee development. Once employee join in our company, let's say employee joined as a cashier. So what is their development as a career point of view? He joined as a cashier, next promotion, clerk, next promotion, analyst, next promotion, manager, assistant manager, next manager. Like that, there will be a development, right? That's what we are going to have it here. Okay. So this, whenever you say your client is enabled financials or not, enabled means whether client is subscribed. Generally, we call it as in software industry licensed. If you want to use some software, you have to buy the licensed software. This license, this word earlier we were using before cloud. But in the cloud environment, of course, we can use license word. There is nothing wrong. But professional nowadays, when we are talking as cloud professionals, we call it as subscription. Have you subscribed for financials so that you can start using it? Here we can see enabled or not. So enabled means your client is subscribed and you can start using. And we also find corresponding documents related to that functional tasks. We don't find technical tasks here, functional related tasks we find here. Okay. Yeah. So this is the place where you can see the different offerings and what are the offerings your client has subscribed. This way we can find here. The same list, whatever we are seeing here, the same list of offerings we can find here. I'm just giving the information. This is nothing practical here. We are just trying to know what is there here it is. Okay. So if we want to do the setups for procurement module, select procurement module, do all our procurement setups. You want to do the setups for financials, select financials module. In financials, you want to do it for fixed assets module, receivables module, and customers, fixed assets, cash management, payments, payables, whatever you want to do, you can do that here it is. Okay. So that is the navigations. So first part we have seen just how to log into the applications, how we have done, and where do we see that the enabling options are there, indirectly subscriptions. Next. Now we are going to see how to create an employee and configure the user account. Configure the user account because you must log in as an employee and perform all the transactions, right? Going forward. Now I'm going to show you how to create our own employee and create a user account. Okay. When we talk about the user accounts, there will be two types of user accounts. One is implementation user. Another one is employee user or transactional user. Employee user or transactional user. Employee user or transaction. Who is implementation user and who is transactional user? Let's say your client is USD Corporation, United States of Gypsum is the client. They have business in US and UK. To maintain their day-to-day business transactions, they approached Oracle Corporation. They approached Oracle Corporation and they got the license or subscription for the software called Oracle Fusion ERP software. They got it here. So after they get the software here, okay, This software will be empty, no setups, no information. Who is your client? USD, United States of Gypsum Corporation is the client. Oracle Corporation is a software company. Oracle Corporation is a software company. They develop multiple softwares. Oracle Fusion ERP, Oracle NetSuite. Like that, number of products and tools they are developing. Number of products and tools they are developing. So client has purchased or excuse me, licensed or subscribed for this ERP software. And the client knows that this ERP software is used to maintain their financials data, sales data, procurement data, and all this. But who will do that configuration? So this client will approach either Oracle Corporation, do all that setups and enhancements, personalizations, customizations, security configurations, everything, or client can go for Oracle partners also. Let's say TCS is there, Wipro is there, Infosys we have, Deloitte we have, excuse me, Accenture we have, PwC, KPMG, thousands of partners, thousands of Oracle partners are available. Who are this? They are software companies who will provide software services to the customers. Okay. So here, client will decide whether they want to give the project to Wipro or they can give the project to Oracle itself. No problem. Okay. So let's say client has decided to give this project to Accenture. They decided to give the project for Accenture. Now what Accenture will do? They take time. So they give the commitment that within 1 year we will implement, or 2 years we'll go for doing all the setups and delivery. Okay. Then Accenture company will start recruiting the employees. They go for recruit the software engineers. Okay. So they recruit the functional consultants and technical consultants. They recruit. So functional team will be there, technical team will be there. They start working. So this team we call it as implementation users. This team we call it as implementation users. So who are the implementation user? Implementation users are indirectly software employees. Indirectly our software team who are going to implement this product to the customer. Okay. So here we are the implementation consultant or we are the implementation users. Indirectly admin user, we can also call it. But officially we say that we are implementation users. We do the implementation, we do the setups, configuration, technical development, enhancements, customizations, personalizations, and deliver it. Once we implement this entire product and we'll give it to the client, then what client will do? Client employees, let's say your client is having 5,000 employees. They have total 5,000 employees. Out of 5,000 employees, let's say 1,200 employees will use this software. Remaining all, they are non-IT staff. They don't use this software. They are working in company in different non-IT related hard jobs or whatever the position is there. So 1,200 people are going to use this software. So every day 1,200 employees will come, they will log in and they start doing the activities day to day. Purchase, sales, procurement, taxes creation, reporting, transfers, terminations, hiring, day to day transactions. We call this 1,200 members as end user or employee user or super user also, or super user or business users. We call it as business users. This 1,200 members. Nowadays, we are calling it as a business users. Earlier, we used to call it as end user, but nowadays we call it as a business user. Okay, this 1,200 members, they are going to call. Now, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to hire an employee and create a user account. And I'm going to show you an implementation user and as well as. So these two things we are going to see. First, I'll show you how to create an implementation user and add the implementation rules. Then I'm going to show you how to create an employee and create a user account. Is clear everybody the difference between implementation user and employee user? Any doubts here? Difference between implementation user and employee user.
It's clear.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Now, let me go for first implementation user for this people. If you want implementation user, go to Navigator, Tools menu, Security Console. Go to Security Console. Go to Security Console. Go to Users tab. Go to Users tab. Add user account. Here it will just ask you the name. It won't ask you the much details. I'm just giving the name as here. Raghav Chauhan. Username, I'm just putting it as Raghav. Password, okay, 1238. Minimum 8 characters are required. I'm going to add two roles. These two roles we call it as implementation roles. One is IT security manager. If you are from EBS background, in EBS we used to do it as a system administrator and application developer. It was AOL, application object library. So the same thing we are doing now. If you are new to the cloud ERP, don't worry. Sometimes I used to give comparison between the Oracle EBS and Oracle Cloud ERP. Sometimes people who are not from EBS background, don't worry. Just you can listen and leave it. So if somebody says that I'm new to ERP, don't worry about that. When I give the comparison, just for easy understanding for the EBS people, I used to give that comparison. If you are new to this ERP, don't worry. Just go ahead with whatever we are discussing here. Application implementation consultant. You have two options here. You can select any role, no problem. ORA underscore or PASM underscore, doesn't matter. You can choose any role, no problem. So these two roles, we call it as implementation roles. So what we have done now, we created an implementation user and we added the roles. Implementation roles we have added. Now Mr. Raghav is an implementation user. Indirectly is a software engineer. He is going to log in and we given the admin access so that he can do all the setups. Without having these two roles, IT security manager and application implementation consultant, we can't do any setups and configurations. Not possible. For example, you joined in a project, they given you the credentials, they have asked you to log in and start working. The first thing what you have to do is when you log into the applications, cross check whether you have the access to these two roles or not. If you have the access to these roles, then only you will be able to perform it. Okay? Yeah. Now go for save and close. Now what is the username? Raghav. You want to make some changes after some time, you can search for the user here. You can see the status and you can see maybe multiple users might have tried with wrong passwords. That time it will be locked automatically. You can go for unlock, click on this. Edit. If you want to unlock, you can go for edit and see that here any day activation, locking and all. Okay. And you can also add the roles. We have separate session about that security and all. We'll talk about that later. If you want to reset the password, you can do that here. Right now, these two are built-in roles. We call it as implementation roles. Okay. We'll look into that, how to create new roles, how to customize the roles, role management. We'll look into that later. Now, I'm going to log in as Raghav as an implementation user. Excuse. Sometimes you will get this type of option. You don't have access to any apps. Very rare case you will get. Just you have to go for click 2 times back. Or you can enter your URL here. Very rare case we get this type of issue. Now Rago logged into the applications. And we added 2 roles. One is IT security manager, another one is application implementation consultant. 2 roles we have added successfully. Now what I wanted to know whether those 2 roles are assigned for the user or not. That's what I wanted to test. Means those 2 roles are populated or not. Go to user menu. If you get this setup and maintenance, then you got the role called application implementation consultant. Whatever the role you assigned, application implementation consultant role, it's working. Next, second one. So as I said, all the setups and everything we do it here, functional setups. And second, one more role we added, IT security manager. Go to navigator, tools menu, security console. Security console. Let me go to navigator, tools menu, security console. Here you will find it here. This. So what we do in security console, just now I said all our setups, everything we do it from here, right? From here, user menu, setup and maintenance, here we'll do it. Just now I said. Then what we do here only 2 things will maintain, user management, role management. Both are related to the security. So that we will do it. So which role is required if you want to access this environment? Which role is required? We need the role called IT security manager. IT security manager is required. Okay, IT security manager is required. So 2 roles we have assigned successfully, both the roles applied, and we have tested successfully. This here. Here it is. Okay, and if I go to navigator, me means employee role. You are not an employee, right? You are not an employee. You are not an employee role. You are an just implementation consultant. That's why you don't find any employee details here. Because right now we are in implementation user. So when you log into the applications, if you want to know whether you are an implementation user or employee user, whether you are a implementation user or employee user, how will you come to know? Go to navigator. Me is nothing but a employee self-service. Employee self-service. Here you will get all the details. But you are not getting means you are not an employee user. You are admin. You are indirectly implementation user. This is clear, everybody? How to create an implementation user? What is implementation user? What are implementation roles we have? How to add? How to log in and test whether those implementation users are populated for your user account or not? Any doubt here? Fine. Next, I'm going for an employee user. Excuse me. I'm going for employee user. It means we are going to hire one employee first. We are going to hire one employee first. For that employee, we'll create a user account. For example, you got a job in Wipro company. They released the offer letter for you. So you'll go to the office on the joining day. Because you are going to join in the company as an employee. Once you join in the company, they capture all your details and they will give you the username and password for login to the applications. Right? That's what you are, an employee of that company and you got this username and password. Okay. So we are going to hire an employee first and then we are going to create a user account. If you want to hire an employee for a company, you need to understand the company structure. You need to understand the company structure. We call it as enterprise structure. We call it as enterprise structure. In EBS, we used to call it as multi-arc. In PeopleSoft, we used to call it as company structure. In SAP, we used to call it as organization structure, whereas in Fusion applications, we call it as enterprise structure. All are same, just name is different. Just name is different. Here it is. Okay. So here, if we look at enterprise structure configurator, we have to understand. In Fusion applications, enterprise structure is very simple. First, you are going to have an enterprise. Within that, divisions. Within that, legal entities. Within the legal entity, business units. Within the business units, reference data sets. Reference data sets, indirectly RDS. Of course, within that, you are going to have departments. But this department's jobs and all we don't require. That is required for human capital management functional consultants. We don't need that, but you can have just for knowledge purpose here. Grades. And also here you are going to have locations. Okay. So let me keep this all in the mid. Yeah. Yeah. Under the business units, we will have the inventory organizations. Inventory organizations. Within the inventories, we will find sub-inventories. Within the sub-inventories, we are going to have stock locations. Within the locations, we are going to keep the items. Excuse me. This is the enterprise structure. So what is enterprise structure? Why we required is, whenever we are implementing some software to any client, first we will ask our client, how many companies you have? How many countries you are doing business? How many branches you have? How many warehouses you have? What are the different items you are purchasing? What are the different items you are selling? What are the different items you are assembling? What are the different items you are going to manufacture? Like that, different item. All are items only. Manufacturing item will be there, service item will be there, purchasing item, sales item, like different. What are those items? Where you are going to keep that items? Exactly in which warehouse? And which sub-inventories, which warehouses or storerooms you are going to put it. Those all warehouses are related to which branches, means business units. Those all under which company, legal entities. You can also divide that as particular division and the top is enterprise. Like that, we need to understand the enterprise structure. Okay. But this entire process will be done by the functional consultants. Especially the senior level functional consultants will involve. We can say it as architect level. Because if something goes wrong here, entire project will be in trouble. So after some time, if it's not like, okay, today we'll do that and after some time we'll make some changes and all. No, it's not like that. But there has to be business understanding and finally decision making and go for configuration. Okay. But still, as a technical consultant, I should know what is enterprise structure, what is the high level of enterprise structure, and how we have to understand and where do we see different modules that we have to understand. Okay. So this is the enterprise structure. Enterprise is nothing but a top level organization, indirectly headquarters. Okay. For example, your client is telling that USG Corporation is my company and I have a business in India and US, two countries. Okay. In India, USG Chips Private Limited, one company I have, and USG Gypsum Private Limited, two companies I have established in India, and USG Corp, only one company. In India, I got around three branches: Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and another one is Delhi, Pune, and Bangalore. Here, New York, California, Los Angeles, and Florida, four branches. In every branch, there are some warehouses. Here in Hyderabad, I have some warehouse, only one warehouse. Here, New York is the warehouse. This is what their business. This is not fusion. This is general business. Client is telling that I established business in two countries. and India and US. In India, I have two companies. One is Chips Private Limited. Another one is Gypsum Private Limited. Two companies I have. And of course, multiple branches I have. Delhi, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, multiple branches. US only one company. US, I have only one company. And within that, I have four branches. I have four branches here in this and one warehouse. One warehouse is there. So this is general business client is telling. Now I'm going to give you the comparison here. So what is enterprise here? This is enterprise. USD Corporation is the enterprise. This is the enterprise. USD Corporation is the enterprise. What about division? Excuse me. What is the division? US Corporation India is one division. US Corporation US is another division. Here what I am doing, country-wise, I am going to divide the business. Some client says that, no, I don't want to divide my business based on the country. I want to divide my business based on the domain. I have two domains. One is gypsum, another one is a chips. Two different. So chips is one division, gypsum is another division. So two different divisions we can have. For example, if you go for ICICI Bank and you ask for some ICICI, some mutual funds or insurance, they say that no, not this is not the division you have to come. That is also ICICI only, but division is different. They says that you have to go to that branch. There we deal with the mutual funds and other insurance related. Here purely banking. It means the client has divided their business as three different: insurance division, banking division, mutual funds division. That is for their business point of view. Okay, but divisions are optional. Excuse me. It is optional, not mandatory. We don't have much functionality about divisions. You can just have an idea what is division. Division is nothing but area of the business. For reporting point of view, we will divide the business based on the location or based on the country or based on the domain functionality. Okay. And enterprise is nothing but a top level organization where we are going to define the enterprise. Indirectly, company headquarters or parent company. Company headquarters or parent company, we call it. Okay. There will be only one enterprise. We cannot define multiple enterprises. Only one enterprise will be there. Okay. So within that, we are going to have divisions, but don't worry about much divisions. Okay. Don't worry about the divisions much. You can leave that options. But it is one of the layer. After enterprise, division is there. Next, legal entity. Legal entities are nothing but a companies. Legal entities are nothing but a companies. How many legal entities in this example? Three. One is US, two are in India. Whatever the companies are registered are established with the government. We call it as legal entity. For example, you want to start a business in Singapore. First, you need to get the permission from the Singapore government. You have to take a building for rent or lease, or you have to buy the building, submit those documents and submit your personal documents and proof of business and every details. Then they'll give you the permission. That's called legal entity. Once you get a permission, company registration, then you open multiple branches. When you open the branch, again, you don't need a permission, right? So that's what legal entity. Indirectly, the legal office, indirectly legal company. If we speak in our language, we call it as a company. Next, within the company, what you will see? Branches, business unit. Here, four branches, here around six branches, total 10. We call it as business unit. So business unit is nothing but an organization where your client is doing main business operations, where your client is doing main business operations like sales, procurement, payables, receivables. We call it as business units. We call it as business units. Okay, we'll discuss with the client how many business units are there for this legal entity. We'll create and assign. How many business units are there for this legal entity, and we will assign it. So within the legal entity, we have to create a business units. And these business units are associated with the reference data sets. This is in depth of human capital management. Don't worry about that. Okay, we can leave that option. Next, within the business unit, what you will see? Inventories. Inventory is nothing but a warehouse where your client is manufacturing the products, or where your client is going to store the materials or assemble the goods or dispatch. We call it as inventories. Some client says that I don't have any manufacturing business. For example, ICICI Bank is there. They don't do any manufacturing or assembling the goods. These are their business is purely banking service. Then they go for define the enterprise, legal entity, and business unit. They don't go for inventories, and they don't go for sub inventories, locations, and items. They won't go for in depth of this. They just go ahead with this enterprise, legal entity, and business unit. Okay. So it's up to the requirement of your clients. Then we will go ahead with the next level options. Okay. So once we create the legal entity, it should be assigned to the ledger and also to the legislative data group. Two things are mandated. Your legal entity should be assigned. Your legal entity should be assigned to the ledger. And also it should be assigned to legislative data group. Why we have to assign? What is the purpose? Ledger is nothing but a format which is combination of forces, currency, calendar, chart of accounts, and compliance method. Compliance method. When you combine all these forces, we call it as a ledger. Whenever you start a company, definitely you have to maintain the accounts, right? Without accounts and maintaining your amount transactions, there is no question of company, right? Every day, thousands of accounts will happen, transactions. So you must have a proper format to maintain those accounting information. Then only you can understand what is happening in your business and you can take a decisions next level. That's called ledger. So as soon as you create your company, it should be assigned to so and so ledger. So that in this company, whenever you perform some accounting related transactions, automatically this will be populated. That's why ledger will be assigned. Next, every company will have employees, hundreds or thousands or lakhs of employees. When you say employee is working with you, obviously you are supposed to pay the salary monthly or weekly or bi-weekly or bi-monthly. You are supposed to pay salary to the employee. Where do you configure the salary details? Payroll related information. Where do you configure? Here, legislative data group. LDG stands for legislative data group, where we will maintain payroll related information. Payroll related information. So this LDG purely required for our human capital management. We don't need to worry about that. Okay. But you should have the idea. Okay. Whenever there is a legal entity, it should be assigned to the ledger and it should be assigned to the LDG. Mandatory. Without that, you can't go to the hire an employee. Not possible. Okay. So it is mandatory that legal entity should be assigned to the ledger and the LDC. Okay. So this is what actually the enterprise structure setup. Okay. So I will take one session, maybe, because if I go ahead in depth of this now, you'll get confused. At this point of time, very high level, we will be discussing, we have discussed just now. Next level, we'll go ahead, uh, how to configure it, but generally not required. This is just for technical guys. Just we have to have the flow sequence of organizations. Like in EBS, if you are from EBS background, in EBS, we used to call it as business group. Within the business group, we used to have ledger, then legal entity, and operating unit, then remaining common, inventory, org, then sub-inventory, stock locations, and then items. This is EBS, multi-arc, EBS ERP software, old on-premise software. This is This is on-premise software. Now, when we talk about here, Fusion applications. When we talk about Fusion applications, we see the enterprise first. Additionally, we'll find here. Then division. Then we see legal entity. Then ledger is as it is. And LDZ is as it is assigned. Then business unit, remaining common. Here operating unit name is different. Here it is business unit remaining. So just business group is here. Here we call it as LDC. It's clear here.
Yeah, it's clear, Chandra.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah,
this is tell me.
yeah, like one more difference you have given up, please. Could you please write here also? That difference is like a AOL in EBS and in Fusion.
If you are you from EBS background?
Yeah, Chandra.
In you, you know that AOL, right?
Yeah.
AOL, that is AOL. Here we call it as implementation roles. There we used to call it as AOL. Here we call it as implementation roles. There we used to have system administrator and application developer. Two responsibilities we were having. There we used to call it as responsibilities. Here we call it as roles. One is IT security manager. Another one is application implementation consultant. Yes. That is the difference here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an enterprise structure. What you have, then we'll see that here. Here. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to hire an employee and create a user account. How to hire an employee user account. So go to user menu, setup and maintenance. If it is implementation user, directly we'll go to navigator, tools, security console, and we do it. But if you want to make it as an employee user, first go to setup and maintenance. Here you can select financials, procurement, any option, no problem. Let me go to financials. I'm hiring employee, manage user. Manage user. I'm hiring employee here. Person means employee. I'm hiring employee. I'm going to specify the employee name as Chandra Mohan is an employee name. Mail ID. Okay. And username Chandra. An employee or ex-employee, employee only. Then it is asking legal entity, indirectly this. Which company is working? This is for which legal entity employee is working. We have built-in legal entity, US1. US1 legal entity. Okay. Next, which business unit? Nothing but a branch. Which branch employee is working? I'm using US1 business unit. Sorry, US1. These two are mandated. Whenever you are hiring an employee, you are supposed to mention your employee is working for which company and which branch. Remaining are optional. What is the job? Which department? No, these all are optional, not mandatory. If you look at here, only these two. Star mark means mandatory. Star mark means mandatory. Remaining all are optional. Department, location, this is all not required. Okay. So we hired an employee, and for this employee, we give an username also, Chandra. The phone type does not exist. Okay. So I'll remove it. It's not mandatory. Why phone number is mandatory? It's not required. The phone type does not exist. Phone type. Where is that? I think by default it has taken. Just take me again. Just give the legal employer and business unit. So we hired an employee successfully here. And we also given the username Chandra123. System will create a username also. I want to search employee and make some changes. Chandra Mohan here. Can click on this. You want to make some changes, you can do it from here again. Okay. Now user account also created active status. Finally, if user account is created for your employee, here you hired an employee and you also created user account. If you want to reset the password and all, go to Tools menu, Security Console. Finally, you need to come. Any user account, finally you have to come here. I given Chandra123, right? That's the username I given. Here I can. When you search for user account here, right side, I can find here the information. If we look at worker name, person number, which business unit is working, this all. In case if manager is assigned, who is the manager, this all. It means Mr. Chandra is employee. Mr. Chandra is an employee. This is employee number, person number and all. Okay. And you can go for add whatever the roles you wanted to assign. I'm going to assign employee role. You want to make him as an implementation user also, you can assign. If you want to give the permission for the application implementation also, we can go for provide here. Application implementation consultant. I also added employee role. So three roles I have assigned. Okay. So whenever you see the username here, if worker name, person number, these details are there, then we say that this is employee user. This is employee user. If you look at the previous user account, Raghav, I don't find the worker information here. If you don't have worker information, that is implementation user. That is implementation user. As we discussed, these people are implementation users and these people are end users. Okay. Now I'm going to log in as Chandra123 and I'll show you. Chandra 123. I think I have not reset the password, is it? Okay. Raghav. You can log in with any user. Only thing is you need to have the access to security console so that you can reset the password. Yeah. If you get this type of issue, do the double click 2 times. Oh, sorry, back. Go to security console. I forgot to reset the password for Chandra user. Now let me log in as now Chandra is an employee user, right? I said if you are an employee, go to navigator, me, you can see that this is all employee self-service. You are employee of the company, right? So you can find your personal information. You can cross-check your pay slips. You can update your career information, your profiles, goals, performance. If there is any company celebrations are there, you can also participate. You can update your wellness. You can fill the timesheet by using this. And you can raise any request. You can claim your expenses. You can fill the time card. You can apply for the leaves. If you are learning some of the things, you can log in and start learning. If company LMS is there, roles and all. We talk about this later. Here is a personal information. Here personal details. So you'll come to know for which legal entity you've done it. Here it is. Your photo can be updated here. Joining date, full details. Other, you can update other details and all. Here it is. Because you are an employee. And also, you got the permission for implementation roles. We added implementation roles. So you got permission for setup and maintenance. You can also do the setups. Okay. And I already given the permission to security console also, right? This security console. So as an employee, you can do all your transactions as well as you can do these setups and all. Here it is. That's how it is working. Okay. So this is about the implementation user and transactional user. Okay. So today we have seen practical only one topic, that is how to create users, types of users, how to create implementation user, that you have to practice. Add implementation roles, that you have to go for it. Implementation project we discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll go for it here. So we have done all this. Okay. So by end of this session, the practical things what you have to do is create couple of implementation users, add implementation roles, log in and test it. Then hire couple of employees and then go for create user accounts for them. Add the roles, add employee role, implementation roles and check whether those roles got populated for your user account or not. That's how you are supposed to test it. So by tomorrow's session, you have to be perfect with the user accounts creation and everything, and should be clear what is implementation user and what is employee user, how to do that. Here it is. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Let's see you tomorrow. And any doubts are there, we'll discuss tomorrow and all. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
Chandra, here no need to assign to responsibility, right?
We call it as roles. Responsibility in EBS ERP. Here we call it as roles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.